And so, hey, by the way, people out there, whether it's right now or certainly, oh my God, Santa showed up. Santa is here. And the dog has acknowledged
the reindeer. That's the reindeer. The angry reindeer. That's
the
Rudolph.
Rudolph the angry reindeer. You're sitting right there.
All right then.
We got Santa Claus.
Ho, 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 ho.
That's
where
right.
all the hoes is supposed to be rock and roll. Ho, ho,
So
ho.
everybody,
It's going to be interesting. All right.
This is an adult show, right?
It doesn't necessarily have to be.
This
is my voice. If you want me to change it to my Santa voice, I can do that.
Santa,
I mean my public voice.
Your public voice.
This is going to be.
You know what, Santa?
This is a private recording.
This is the time for you to be you, Santa.
That's the only reason that I came here. To tell it like it is. Tell the truth. Who's this man? I met you before.
Yes, you have.
Santa,
I've given you
Troy, Santa.
That 1 year you were good, Troy. I gave you some presents.
I was going to ask, what list is he on this year?
He is on the no-fly zone list.
That sounds about
That's
accurate.
right. He's nothing but blizzards and ice pellets.
So everybody
you should see a doctor about the ice pellets. See, there's a set. All right, now
there you go. Now you got your. So you need those to read the naughty list. So everybody out there, feel free to call in to area code 213.
I'll call in.
97. No, you're here. You don't have to
Santa.
call in.
Just my wife gave me this thing. I don't know how to use it.
We're going to talk about her in just a moment. In fact, I'm glad you brought that up. But by the way, you can call in area code 213-973-2977 and ask Santa Claus anything. And
right.
I do mean that, anything.
That is right.
And Troy is gonna. He's giving his. He's waving. There goes the resume.
Hey, listen. You know, I got a fire right in back of me. So basically, there's a little chance that we'll escape.
So
I appreciate being on this side of the mic as it gives me kind of the witness protection Santa program side profile view.
I feel like, I'm like a shish kebab ready to go on the fire.
Well, normally I'd sit where you are, Troy, just because that's where they put me in the stores.
The top shelf.
How is everything at the mall going this year?
Oh, please don't let me talk. Don't talk to me about corporate BS. We can cuss on this, all right? We can say BS.
Yeah, no, look, this is, yes, you can say BS.
I had to give Bill Cosby a present this year, so I'm trying to keep it kind of clean.
Santa, can I ask you a question?
Certainly, Troy.
Fantastic. Is there a particular song that is themed after you that you really enjoy?
Oh, let's see. The one that I think is the best one is American Psycho.
American Psycho.
That is one of my favorite songs about me. Life and my daily life. No, I'm kidding.
So let's talk about that. What is your nationality? Because you're in the North Pole, which is I don't even know.
I'm North Polian.
You're North Polian. Okay.
North Polian.
So is that
too easy an answer for you?
No, not at all. I'm like,
man?
Is that sort of Napoleonish or Napoleon, which almost makes you French?
If you see some of the snowmen that we make, they look quite like Neapolitans.
Where the hell are we right now? Are we on like some kind of planet with like different Where the heck are we?
This is the music I listened to in the 50s when I was wonderful, this is calming. And this wasn't even recorded until 1963.
Hey, exactly. No, this is the type of music that gets played this time of year. I still don't know why.
How you doing, baby?
So you were mentioning Mrs. Claus. So by the way, because we never see pictures of her. We never. What's her name?
Her name is Sally.
Sally Claus.
Sally Claus. I'm Santa Claus and she's Sally Claus.
So here's the thing. I heard she was Jewish. How does that work at the holidays?
Well, it works fine. I get a boiled chicken and she makes me a nice boiled chicken and a couple of bitter herbs and all of you little Jewish boys and girls, I'll still bring you a present.
Yeah, well,
just because I'm non-denominational.
So I mean, I got to be totally honest. I mean, look, you show you wore the red shirt, you got the hat, which is cool, but there's no beard and a leather coat. What's?
Look, that's a long story. This is again. I mean, how do you think Santa, at his age, seems to be able to handle all the stress of working with a factory of little people? I have to stay young 99.9 0.9% of the time, because the 0.01% is when I'm in that sleigh, dropping presents off, looking like I'm supposed to, old and fat and smelly. No, Santa doesn't smell. I smell like lavender and snowflakes.
He does. He does smell like lavender and snowflakes. I smelled it when he walked in.
It's true. Is that what it was? Lavender and snowflake tea.
Lavender on the rocks. I like to have a little before I show up.
That's awesome. So how are things with you and Sally?
Well, we're getting along fine. I have one night away from her every year,
and that's next week. So,
the North Polians are really good with their wives for all that period of time.
So I was curious because that is the one night away from Mrs. Claus. Has there ever been a time that you've come down the chimney and not only are there cookies and coffee, but there's a Mrs. Somebody who wants to give you a special Christmas present?
Every year at the Playboy Mansion. That's a tough one for me. But Mrs. Claus understands, because the North Polians. I had a Santa voice going earlier that I liked better than this one.
So we mentioned him dropping down the chimney of the Playboy Mansion is what we did.
Well, no, and one of the things does the whole does the chimney thing ever get boring for you? Where you're
you kidding?
Another chimney?
You remember your first date with the one you didn't tell your parents about until about 20 years later? That's what it feels like going down a chimney for me.
So what do you do when there's no chimney?
Well, I find something thin and small to crawl through.
Through a crevasse.
Yeah, if they have a little window or an air duct, I'll climb down that.
What if you can't get in then? What do? Break a window?
Well, I just use my special Santa keys. I've got a whole ring of Santa keys. Oh, darn it.
So in the midst of doing all of that, This is going to be what a great hour this is. So you ever gone into a house, be it through a window or a chimney, and somebody goes, thief, crook?
Only when I wear my black hat. And I don't mean that in any other way except that it looks like a French burglar hat. Santa's wife, Sally, made it for me one time to kind of just to get me more metrosexual. Make me a little more modern, I guess. I guess the hipster hats would be good now. A little pork pie. Pork pie! We went off the charts with the volume there.
Santa with a fedora. That would be interesting. So So you have been.
That was me in the 30s,
Yeah.
The fedora.
So how long?
Most of my gifts were given to people that were walking around with placards in front of them saying apples for a penny. Those people needed presents about that.
How long have you been doing this job for?
Oh, let's see. When was the Big Bang? When did the Big Bang happen?
That was
You've never lived until you've given a dinosaur a Christmas present, and he didn't even know that bipeds were available at that time. They weren't. I had to get training somewhere for the people that didn't like to have someone interfere in their normal life. Just open the present. It's a terrible life.
Once again, everybody, if you want to call in and ask Santa Claus a question, and I highly recommend it, I truly do, 213-973-2977. Yeah, so you've been doing this for that long, and
didn't have reindeer then either.
Well, I was going to ask you. So I know that Rudolph gets all of the attention because number one. So Rudolph, let's talk about him. So is his nose? Does it really grow, or has it been a glow, or is it surgically enhanced?
Well, we got Rudolph. We got Rudolph after World War II.
You okay?
And he was in a laboratory. He was an unfortunate little deer. But you know what? We found out we could change out his nose pretty easily.
Why his nose?
Just screwed in. You screw it in and unscrew it when it doesn't work out. I got boxes of those things.
So you can go new techno disco ball
styles. Well, I'll tell you what, I'd never seen a reindeer look like that. Holy smokes.
That's fantastic.
Is there ever any sort of weird, I don't know, jealousy between Rudolph and the rest of the reindeer? Because he gets all the press. He gets the song.
Well, they know he's a freak, so they just They look at me and go, okay, we get it. But they get perks. I give them bonuses every year.
All right, so what kind of bonuses do you give the other reindeer?
Oh, hoof polishing, hoof cleaning, a lot of stuff with the hooves. The reindeer are big on the hoof thing. I got one of them an airplane pillow that can rest on the haunches of the other one, so that in case one gets tired, they just rest their haunches on an airplane pillow of a reindeer.
Is that a
drink here?
Is that a laugh or a smoker's cough? Have you been smoking, Santa?
Not since I walked in. Oh, you haven't seen those pictures of Coca-Cola put out years ago with me with a pipe when it was cool. I smoke every day.
Do you? What do you smoke?
Mostly rainbows and moonbeams.
How do those taste?
Oh, it depends. It depends on the climate and the humidity. Sometimes it's more purple, and purple flavor is wonderful.
All right, so I want to get into some of the mythology surrounding you. There's the whole thing that, in the song, Santa Claus is coming to town.
That's right.
He sees you when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
All right, so first of all,
it haunts me.
Can you see kids when they're sleeping?
It haunts me. It's an extra muscle. If they took out my brain, it would look like one of the brains that the I don't know if you know about the killer whales have an extra lobe on their brain, and part of my brain can see children when they're sleeping. God almighty, it's a curse, but it's a blessing. Oh, lovely children. You know how you like to take pictures of your girlfriend when she sleeps, because that's the only time she's not yelling at you. Oh, it's just like that with children, whether they're bad or good. They're like little angels sleeping. And if they're not breathing, then you have to call someone 911.
Thank you for that, Santa.
You asked the question.
Yeah, so you should be like a direct support for 911 if you can always see them sleeping, right?
Here's what I heard.
You could be like
Troy.
a direct
I heard
accountant.
you could smart have heard old one, because there was a little music was up there in the middle of your.
That makes sense.
You're exactly right.
Hey, we have a phone call.
Who
could this be?
And
is that a Samsung or is that I don't know. It sounds.
Where's
close.
the? All right, where did the? I love technology.
Oh, I see. My wife gave you the same phone.
Yeah, exactly. So whoever's calling in right now, sorry, I'm looking for.
It's on the laptop, I think they call them. I've given the mini out for Christmas to stupid executives.
I just did. Okay, so there's that.
So that we're all prepared for this one. Sorry about that, Santa.
One of them is covered in ice.
Jupiter.
Jupiter's moon. They're looking at it and think it's going to be just like that movie that the guy who directed the Titanic made.
Jim Cameron.
Yes, and his last big animated non-Disney looking
Avatar.
movie is exactly what that planet's like. And guess what, Brian? I've been there distributing gifts. Because for them, Christmas comes 7 times a year.
So you keep busy.
I am everywhere.
How
do you think I met the Three Stooges while dealing with Martians from outer space?
Well, see, I would have no idea, and that's and so now I know.
It's probably on YouTube for free. Ho ho ho! This music makes me sad, Brian.
Really?
Who is this, Brian?
This is J. Roddy Walston and the Business, and that's a song called Jesus Gonna Do His Best.
Oh, I know why. You know why he wrote this song?
Why?
He had a bad year. And he was appealing to the higher powers to give him a break.
This one's a bit cooler. This is actually Otis.
Sometimes I just feel funny. I think of something that amuses me. Oh, yeah.
This is actually Otis Redding with Merry Christmas, Baby.
That was a good year for Otis.
I think so.
You realize this song went out to 37 women. It was written as if for one, but 37 women all thought it was for them. And those were people he was close to.
And the other ones are like, how come I don't get a song? So did you ever see the movie Bad Santa?
I love that movie.
I was wondering how you would feel about it.
I love that little person, Tony Cox. He is the funniest little man. He worked with ourselves to do research in that movie.
Really?
Yes!
No, so what kind
There are 15 elves like him. And by him, I mean attitudinally. Always trying to take the presents and put them in their homes and hide them from me. You see, I do inspections of all their homes, so I know. Mostly I do it with my mind and extended feelings beyond my soul to feel what's in their house, and I can feel their toys, especially if they were made at the toy factory, just with a thought.
That's one of the most interesting and bizarre things I think I've ever heard in my entire fucking life.
I watch a lot of Doctor Who.
So is there anything related to the way the sleigh works and the TARDIS? Because I always wondered about how you get every place that you get in the period of time that you do. The idea that time travel is not somehow involved seems unlikely. So are you actually, when you're not Santa, do you know the Doctor?
Have you seen the map in Time Bandits?
Yes, I have.
That map was created by my cartographers. I go through wormholes every day. I go through black holes every day. I like holes.
Every day.
Brian. Yes, and
sorry,
surprisingly, Brian, you may not know this, but Santa Claus regenerate.
Really? So how do you regenerate?
We get a giant belly 2 days before Christmas. We all look the same, though. Ha ha ha!
Same kind of thing with the beard. Is that so? No beard now, but next Wednesday it's going to be.
Getting ready
boom.
for it.
Yeah.
I could go undercover looking like this.
So here's the thing, and this is something that I was thinking
I'll
about.
show you something for your internet viewers.
Please
Brian. With the simple change of hats. Look, and taking off the glasses and putting on this
costume
hat.
Change.
I can appear at any dock around the country and be seen as a dock worker. Sometimes I do undercover experiments to see if people are really naughty or nice. Oh, damn it.
So
I wanted to cuss, it's an adult show.
when you do those kinds of things, how often do you do stuff like that?
Well, it depends on when President Obama calls me.
Does he call you a lot?
Nixon did a lot.
I bet he did.
But I do it for myself. I kid the president.
So, quick question. Nixon, naughty or nice?
Nixon was very nice to his dogs.
Okay.
Very naughty. He got what I actually recommended he deserved.
Okay.
Yeah, they were going to be meaner to him. I said, send him over to that island with Hitler. Both of them wander around with the metal detector. Oh!
So I was thinking about this because, I mean, basically everybody thinks about you and they think about Christmas and they think about Christmas Day.
Yes.
But the truth is, you work Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve is really that's kind of your
best day
moment.
of the year for me.
Absolutely.
You know why, Brian? I appreciate a challenge.
I bet you do.
I set up my goal list, and it's as long as my gift list.
So what do you do on Christmas Day?
Oh, Christmas Day. The elves all cook me turkey.
Okay.
Lots of turkey, Brian.
You
know what I do on that day?
That's why
I have turkey.
Turkey.
And then, after that, I go live like a normal person in Utah just for a couple of weeks. Couple of weeks.
And then you go, well, that's enough of that.
Well, Miss Santa's not very approving of it. I've got to go feel what it's like to be human. Much like Jesus did.
Do you ever talk to Jesus?
Oh, he's just sitting around waiting for Lord to say, go get him. JC, go.
And so if
what do you want to know, Brian?
When that actually happens,
oh, there he is.
Is that going to in any way sort of like subvert what you do in December? Because I mean, I know that Christmas is supposed to be a celebration of his birthday, but
well,
so will that change anything for you?
We celebrate it's Jesus' birthday with him every year.
Sure.
Right around I think it's May your time.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm curious. That's because I'd actually always heard that the whole December thing was actually a complete misnomer, and that his birthday was really more in like May or June or something like
According to the movie Zeitgeist, yeah.
Yes.
And you'll notice all the wonderful lack of footnotes and indices in that movie.
Now, if you check IMDb, his birthday changes depending on the release date.
It depends on how many atheists are online hacking.
So, how do you feel about atheists or agnostics or people that just flat out say, I don't believe in Santa. I don't believe in Santa Claus.
Brian, whether an atheist or a believer or a pagan or a Satanist or a mailman believes in me or not, I am there. I exist. I live. The spirit of me floats through others. People who buy gifts and mean it. Not people who buy gifts just because it's like, oh, I gotta give Grandma a gift. But I bet you moments before they give the gift, my spirit enters them and they feel it. So I'm both trans-dimensional and real. What was the question, Brian?
I don't even know, but I'm sure whatever it was, you answered it.
Atheists can be very nice people. Here's the deal, Brian.
All right.
No one's going to be everyone that's an atheist, and everyone that's a believer, quotation marks. Even of me. In fact, of me. They're Santatheists. Have you seen those?
Santatheists? I've never heard that term before.
The Santatheists are
All right.
They're the ones that are the most challenging to buy for.
Short list.
That's right, because I have to give them a present and make it serendipitous, so it seems like, something just fell out of the sky and they got it, because they're not going to believe it if I give it to them.
So as you do all of this very, very altruistic work throughout the year, do you ever pay attention to politics?
No! I go and smell the people with my force. Then I decide whether they're naughty or nice. Although sometimes my wife fills me in on the goings-on from watching TMZ.
Oh, TMZ.
Here's the problem, Brian. I promised myself years ago that I'd never even say those three initials together because I don't condone that tripe garbage.
No argument here, Santa.
Is there
Absolutely.
such a thing as tripe garbage?
There is now. And maybe if you're on the naughty list, you'll get it in your stocking, right?
Oh, yes. But even some of those people are innocent little dumbasses.
Innocent little dumbasses.
They don't realize the harm they're putting out into the world. But if they treat something in their car even in a very nice way, since they don't seem to relate to people and their privacy, then they may be on the nice list. Oh, darn it!
Which clearly is the place to be on some list anywhere. In fact, how would you equate the nice list to Schindler's List?
Oh, much longer. That was just one moment in time, and all those people were nice. And I've seen some. I've met some of them, and some of them have gone right back, and they're doing good work. Because I don't know if you know this, Brian. Very few Santas will tell you this at the store, because they're just stooges. But it's a transcentromographic world.
I would agree. So let's talk about that, because yes, you can be anywhere and everywhere all the time, but do you have like people that work for you at like multiple malls across? I mean, so there may be kids out there that are sitting on the lap of a Santa, and is it always you, or do you got employees?
Those are the games that humans play.
All right, I got you.
My personal power is so great. Somehow I'm told, I don't believe it, but they tell me it's great, that people on Earth seem to look for a place for them to dress up like they think I dress, and then be me. But I don't know if you know this, but I'll let you in on a little secret. The real thing we call the reindeer is reincarnadeer.
Reincarnadeer?
That's right, Brian. Because there's many more levels that I work on and that you work on that you are unaware of. Oh, I think I have emphysema.
how do reincarnate work?
Brian, deer can only fly so fast. Then they don't mate because their genitals have been shaven off and plugged up because of some North Pole laws that I haven't been able to change. So they keep coming back as other reindeer. I can tell because I've tattooed each of them. And then the next reindeer come back and they're little babies with the same tattoos and they just appear. It's weird.
No, not at all.
Not where I come from. It's daily fun. Brian.
It's got to be so much fun being you, Santa. I mean,
you
seriously.
should see the version of you on Saturn.
Should I?
Oh, your entity, Brian, is split up in multiple devices, in multiple universes, and some devices like Xbox number 37. But that's on Planet Murmur, which you haven't even been to.
Planet Murmur?
Planet Murmur.
Where's that?
Well, it just shows up every so often on a. If you use night vision goggles, you can see it.
I don't have those, but my son does. For different reasons, though.
He's probably seen a Planet Murmur.
Yeah, no.
Many times! And the way you know it is when you look at it, you feel a little thing in your body that goes...
Exactly. It's just, there's like an internal voice.
That's why we try not to encourage people to look at it.
Right, just shh, quiet.
Yeah, you need a little Pepto-Bismol after that.
All right, so here's a very modern sort of topic, but...
Tell me, Brian.
Santa's opinion on gay marriage.
Gay marriage is lovely! There's nothing greater than the power of love. The only gay marriages I disapprove of are none! Because why would a gay person want to marry a nun? Do you understand, Brian? Some things I leave to you. I've been on planets where people and rocks get married because the rocks are sentient.
So do you do interplanetary gift giving?
I told you that whole story about wormholes and black holes to expand your consciousness.
Well, sure, but I was thinking that was
what
more
was
in
the
terms
question?
of... I was wondering if you actually do interplanetary gift giving. I understand using wormholes and such to get around Earth on one night, all the places that you have to go.
Here's the difficulty, Brian.
Uh-huh.
There are many planets that are in communication with each other as we speak, and if someone sends an intergalactic present, then I have to give it to them.
Where are some of the places that you go?
Flora and Schmuck. And there's another place I like. It orbits the perennial favorite of mine, the cube planet of Glapikor. Glapikor.
Where's that?
It's off, if you look up in the sky and then keep looking, and then if you could go farther than what you could see, beyond that, take a left. Don't stop because it says rest, because you got a ways to go, and then stop there, where it all turns kind of orange.
And that is where Glapikor is.
Yes!
Well, then I need to get myself a really solid telescope and any astronomy people out there, follow those directions and check out Glapikor.
When it gets orange, take a left.
When it gets orange, take a left. And I do that at the market.
Brian, we go above some people's heads. I think so.
It's all right. They'll catch up. But we acknowledge that out of a holiday sense of love. Santa, I gotta tell you, we are coming.
Love is all goodness.
Thank you, John Lennon. Sort of. So, what are your thoughts on John Lennon? How was John Lennon on the naughty or nice list?
He was a good boy.
Yeah.
He was on the nice list. Mm-hmm. He just told it as he saw it, whether he was all messed up with Harry Nielsen on alcohol or not.
All right, so can we take the skin and peel it back just a little bit? Is there anybody
looking for my seeds? Are you?
Not exactly. No, it's not what I meant.
Split the orange in half and take the slices.
Santa, not what I meant.
Okay.
What I was going to ask though is there anybody that has actually been on the naughty list that people would be surprised about, and conversely, somebody that you would think was actually naughty and was actually on the nice list?
You mean everyone thinking that person's naughty and then they were on the nice list?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, let's see. Gandhi was on the naughty list.
Really? Why?
Oh, well, he set up some rules for himself. And he stuck to him pretty well.
And what about?
But when he did, he shouldn't have worn. He shouldn't have worn his cloth if he's going to be, a Sikh, and he shouldn't even had that tunic he wore. A couple of times at least, sure, but yes.
And what about
just small things, Brian?
The small things always matter.
Yes.
And what about, is there somebody that people would always go, that guy, that's a bad guy, and it actually turned out maybe they weren't? And I don't just mean me.
Yes, Brian.
Who might?
Brian Cranston.
Brian Cranston.
People thought for the longest, some people actually believe he did all those bad things. But then, if you meet him in person, he's pretty good. He's decent man. Oh, that was one of my human voices.
That's one of your human voices.
When I'm out in the world asking how much PlayStations are.
All right, so naughty or nice.
Sometimes the internet doesn't work for me, so I have to go in person. So go ahead.
Kind of like the phones here. All right, so a couple more people, naughty or nice. Larry Flint.
Larry Flint. Without Larry Flint, we wouldn't have the freedom to look at lascivious images all the time and expose our children to them by accident because their other friends hack into those websites even through parental blockage.
The staff here at xsiteradio.
I only know 2 of you, and the others are on the list for being mostly good.
Okay, that's good to hear. Well, that's nice to know. Bill Gates.
Oh, Bill Gates. Aside from him wanting to euthanize all people with flu shots, I find that for the most part, he is just so pathetically good. Here it is, Brian. He so wanted to be Steve Jobs, but that pathetic quality that pushed him to magnanimonical, to being very rich, endeared me to him.
Well, Santa, we've got about a minute left, and so I want to take this time to, number one, thank you so much for coming out and making yourself available to answer these questions and giving the very real and direct, honest answers that you have, for making yourself available in what is absolutely got to be just the busiest time of year for you.
Brian, you've had an interesting year.
That's
and
without a doubt.
And your rock and roll brought me back to here. Yet that and your charming personality. Oh, now I have to go back to my gruff voice to go out in the world again.
Well, Santa, I want to thank you so much for those kind words and for sharing your time. And so sorry, everybody out there, that some of the stuff, the phone didn't work out. We really wanted to. But you know what? Maybe we can find a way you can tweet or email some questions here to us, and I will get them to Santa, and he will answer them at some point, and then you'll have a record of them, and you can go, wow, that's interesting. I didn't expect that.
One of my human friend who's been really bad most of the time will take some of those questions on Twitter. It's at Bonnoman, BONNOMAN. Ask Santa a question and he'll get it to me.
So do that. Everybody, our time is up here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you again, Santa, so much for being here. Everybody, have a great holiday season. Whatever holiday it is that you're celebrating, whatever it is that you're doing, enjoy yourselves, enjoy your friends, enjoy your families, love each other.
Love!
That's right, because the truth is, regardless of the crazy bullshit that's going on out in the world, there's nothing more important and more valuable than the life experiences that we share with each other. And this is your American Psycho Brian Crow saying thank you so much. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy what the fuck ever.